The Short Stories, Cyberpunk 2077 edition.
Joy and the Circuit Breakers, Night City Stories, Part 2. The Circuit Breakers had become a well-oiled machine in the weeks following their victory over the Cyber Psycho in the abandoned factory. Joy had grown close to her newfound friends, and the sense of loneliness that had plagued her for so long was now just a distant memory. They were a team, a family, and Night City's cyber psychos had a new force to reckon with. One evening, as they gathered in their makeshift hideout, an old, converted warehouse filled with discarded cybernetic parts, Grifter brought up a new lead. "Listen up, chooms," he said, his voice gruff. "Word on the street is that there's a cyber psycho terrorizing the Watson district. They've been hacking into cyberware and driving people insane." Zara, the former corpo executive turned gun-toting warrior, leaned forward. "Preem. We've got to stop them before more innocent people get hurt. Or worse, they blow up Watson. That kind of mess will have Corpo and MaxTac buzzing around the area for weeks." Joy nodded in agreement, her fingers twitching in anticipation. She'd been honing her hacking skills even further, determined to bring her expertise to the forefront of their missions. "I'll dig into the net to see what I can find about this psycho." As Joy dived into the digital realm, she uncovered a trail of breadcrumbs that led them to a suspect named Nemesis, a cyber-enhanced mercenary with a reputation for ruthlessness. Nemesis had gone off the deep end, becoming a rogue hacker with a thirst for chaos. The team assembled in their batch of armored vehicles, ready to track down their target. The hunt for Nemesis took them through the dank, sun-showered soaked streets of Watson. The district was a labyrinth of narrow alleyways and towering neon signs, the perfect hiding place for someone who wanted to disappear. But the circuit breakers were relentless, and Joy's skills as a netrunner proved invaluable in tracing their quarry's digital footsteps. It led them through various shops, tenements, and conversations with locals to get an idea of how far behind, to tracking his movements. But with every clue, the crew became closer and closer to their target. After a tense game of cat and mouse, they cornered Nemesis in an abandoned cyber clinic, its shattered windows reflecting the fractured skyline of Night City. Nemesis stood there, a hulking figure with grotesque cyberware jutting from his body. The room was filled with the eerie hum of malfunctioning cybernetics. A fierce battle ensued, with the team facing off against Nemesis and their deadly cyber enhancements. Zara's cannon arm roared to life. Rook unleashed an incredible force of firepower. Switch's gadgets created chaos, and Silas worked on deactivating Nemesis's cyberware. Joy, meanwhile, engaged in a digital duel with the rogue hacker. In the virtual battlefield, Joy's fingers danced across her cyberdeck, fighting off Nemesis's attempts to breach her defenses. It was a battle of wits, and Joy had spent countless hours preparing for this moment. She managed to infiltrate Nemesis's neural interface, shutting down his control over the cyberware. With a final surge of teamwork, they incapacitated Nemesis, ending the cyber psycho's reign of terror. As they stood there, victorious and exhausted, Joy felt a profound sense of accomplishment. They had once again made the streets of Night City a little calmer. Over time, the circuit breakers continued to take on dangerous missions, facing down cyber psychos and other problems to the city. Joy had found her place among them, her hacking skills proving invaluable time and time again. They became legends in their own right, their name whispered in the shadows as the ones who kept Night City's darkest nightmares at bay. But more importantly, Joy had found something she thought she'd never have: a true family. In the midst of a world filled with artificiality and cybernetic enhancements, she had found genuine connections that filled the void in her heart. They were the Circuit Breakers, and together they rewrote the story of Night City, one cyber psycho at a time.